What's up, everybody? Casey Brown here, and in the past 12 months, my LinkedIn presence has generated over $1 million in revenue for my agency, and now I'm about to show you the exact 5 AI tools behind every single post that has made me money. Now, why would I do something like this? Because, my friend, there is enough out there for us to all win. And if you're not a person that believes that, log off this video right now. There's nothing for you here. Last week alone, I wrote one LinkedIn post that got 2 million impressions, gained 5,000 followers in 24 hours, and brought in over 400 qualified leads, all using the exact toolkits and system that I'm about to show you right now. Now, here's what 99% of people get wrong about LinkedIn. They think it's about posting motivational quotes or humble brags or I'm proud to announce, but it's not. LinkedIn is a revenue-generating, relationship-generating machine if you know how to use these specific AI tools strategically. So I'm about to walk you through each tool, show you my exact process, and by the end of this video, you'll have everything that you need to start generating real income from your LinkedIn presence. But here's the thing, I'm not holding anything back. These are the same tools my agency clients pay thousands and thousands of dollars for us to implement into their LinkedIn system. So if you get any value from this at all I ask is that you hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, interact with me in some way, because I'm telling you right now, I'm putting a lot on the line. I'm putting my business on the line, frankly, to show you all these tools, because then you can just go do it for more people or for yourself. Or if some of my clients see this video, they could just start doing it for themselves as well. But again, my friend, I rest in a mindset of abundance, and there's enough out there for us to all win. So with that, let's get into it. Now, the first tool that has generated me over $100,000 this year is Taplio. But I guarantee if you are using this tool, you are not using it the way that I am. Most people use Taplio as just a basic LinkedIn scheduling tool, but that's like using a Ferrari to deliver pizza. What I do is I go into Taplio's viral post database, and I'm not looking at what's popular just in general. I'm specifically analyzing posts from people who have a nice size following, but also who I know charge at least $10,000 or more for their services. So what I'm doing is reverse engineering content, not just from the highest followed accounts, but from the highest earning accounts. I'll search for my target keywords like personal branding, coaching, business strategy, CEOs, things like that, and I'll filter by engagement rate. But here's the secret sauce. I'm looking for posts that got the highest engagement and generated actual business results. For example, I found a post from a consultant who charges around $25,000 for some strategy work. I happen to know this because I have some folks that have worked with this person. So his post was about CEO mindset shifts, and that got 50,000 impressions. And he mentioned in the comments that it booked him 3 discovery calls. That is my content inspiration right there. But Taplio's real power is in the analytics. I track which of my posts are converting followers into actual business conversation, not just likes and comments. I mean, DMs that actually lead to sales calls. I also discovered that my behind the scenes building posts or posts about our clients convert 3 times better than any of my motivational content. That one insight alone has probably made me an extra $50,000 this year because I doubled down on what actually drives revenue. Now, here's the thing. When you start using Taplio to track your LinkedIn analytics, I want you to strategically use this platform to track the analytics of the posts that actually convert into business. And for me, I track the 3 business metrics that matter. That's DM conversations, email signups, and calls booked with my team. Everything else, my friend, is just vanity. Since Taplio has been such a game changer for my revenue, my business, and my analytics, I actually worked out a deal for my audience. So if you want to try Taplio and see how it can transform your LinkedIn content strategy and get 50% off your first month, just use my code Casey1X1. I'll put all that in the description. But remember, this tool alone has generated me over $100,000. So even at full price, it pays for itself. But hey, just use my code and save some money while you're at it. Tool number 2 has probably generated me over $200,000 in revenue. And it's not even designed for content creation. I do not see enough people talking about this tool, and it's Perplexity AI. I use it to become the smartest person in the room on any topic in under 20 minutes. And y'all, I hate to break it to you, but I am a little smart. I think I'm pretty smart. But this tool makes me the smartest, sharpest person in the room by far. Now, here's why this matters for revenue. On LinkedIn, authority equals income. The more you're seen as the expert, the more people will pay you. And nothing builds authority faster than having data and insights that no one else is talking about. Let me show you how I use Perplexity for that viral Serena Williams post that brought in over 1,000 leads for my business. First, I searched Serena Williams Wimbledon controversy 2012, and I found articles that 90% of people didn't even know were out there. But I didn't stop there. I then searched athlete celebration controversies double standards to find broader context that would make my angle unique. Now, within 20 minutes, I had 5 data points that no one else was using and an angle no one else was talking about. I had specific quotes from tennis officials about the crip walk. I had comparable male athlete celebrations that weren't criticized. I had statistical data about media coverage differences. I had historical context about dance and sports celebrations. And I had recent academic studies on athlete expression. Here's why this research has made me so much money. When you're the person citing actual studies and bringing fresh data to conversations, people automatically have this assumption that you are the expert, and experts get hired. I've had prospects tell me that they've hired me and my teams because they saw me reference a study in a LinkedIn post that their previous consultant had never mentioned. And that for me is a $15,000, $20,000 deal from a 20-minute research session. Now, here are some advanced Perplexity strategies. Don't only just use this as like a typical Google search. I want you to search for contrarian data that challenges popular beliefs. I want you to look for recent studies within the last 6 months that others have not found yet or you haven't seen people talking about. I want you to cross-reference multiple sources to find unique angle combinations. And I want you to use the related questions feature to discover adjacent topics worth exploring. That related questions feature is gold, my friend. Now, the key takeaway here is that everybody has opinions, but the person with the fresh data wins the conversation. Now, tool number 3 is one of my favorites. If you ask anybody that's been around me, my partner in my house, my friends that I work with, my colleagues, they know I love this tool. There's a secret weapon that has made me at least $25,000 this year by solving the biggest content creation bottleneck. And that is getting your thoughts out of your head efficiently. It's called Whisper Flow, and it's completely changed the game on how I create content. Because here's the thing, I can speak way faster than I can type. And my best ideas come when I'm talking through problems, not just staring at a blank document and trying to jot down my ideas. I've seen most content creators get stuck in that blank page syndrome. You sit down, you got your coffee, you got your tea, you're ready to write down all your content ideas. You start staring at your screen, and suddenly your brilliant shower thoughts disappear. But when I'm walking, driving, or just pacing around my office, that's when the $1 million insights hit. The problem was always capturing them and turning them into polished content. And that's where Whisper Flow saved the day. So here's my exact workflow. I'll get an idea for a LinkedIn post, and instead of sitting down to write, I actually open Whisper Flow and just start talking through my thoughts. So I'll say something like, okay, so I was talking to this client yesterday who's been a VP at Goldman for 12 years. They're crushing it, making great money, but he also has 0 online presence. And I was thinking about how this is like financial malpractice, blah, 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 blah. I'm literally just having a conversation with myself, exploring the idea, telling stories, making connections, just unpacking all the thoughts in my brain, and Whisper Flow captures everything and gives me the perfect transcript. What used to take me 90 minutes to write out or think through or even just voice note and then transcribe now takes me just 15 minutes to speak and 10 minutes to edit or pop it into some AI system. I've now 3x'd my content output without sacrificing quality. But here's the revenue impact. Because I can create content faster, get my thoughts out faster, I can test more angles, respond to trending topics in time, and consistently show up in my audience feed. That consistency has led to more inbound opportunities because when prospects see me posting valuable insights daily instead of sporadically, they assume I'm busier and more successful and more of an expert, which makes them want to work with me more. And of course, I got some advanced strategies for you when it comes to using Whisper Flow. I want you to record content ideas while walking. I want you to create multiple angles for the same topic in one session. Capture client conversations with permission and then turn them into case study content or ideas for your next LinkedIn or YouTube video. And use it for rapid-fire social proof collection after client wins. When we have a huge client win, I'll turn on Whisper Flow, write up something easy, send it in Slack to our team to, of course, document it, but also get the team super hype as well. Now, here's the key thing that I want you to remember. Your voice is so much more authentic than your typing. Generally, most of us, I'm not saying this for all of us, but when we speak our content first, our ideas first, it comes across exactly how we want it to. We start sharing a lot more deeper analysis. We start reflecting and listening for unique angles or sharing our thoughts easier than when we're typing it out. And so this is why I love this tool. Now, this next tool is almost like my best friend. It has generated me at least $150,000 this year and probably way more, but 99% of y'all are using this completely wrong. And it's Claude AI. Now, here's the thing. I do not use Claude to just do my writing. I use it to multiply my thinking. That's the trick. That's the hack. And now this is what separates 6, 7, 8-figure LinkedIn creators from everyone else. We don't just post more. I only actually post like 2 to 3 times a week. We think deeper. And Claude helps me think 10 times deeper about every piece of content. Most people just go to AI, whether it's Claude or ChatGPT, and say, write me a LinkedIn post about productivity. That is amateur hour. I need you to understand how I actually use Claude, so let's just dive into my entire process. I come to Claude with my complete research. My angle, my target audience, examples of my writing style, because I've been writing by hand for at least a year without AI, and the specific transformation that I want to create in each post. I give it around 70 to 80% of the work up front. But here's the money-making part. I use Claude to explore angles I would have never thought of on my own. I use it like a sparring partner. I want the AI system to challenge my thoughts, my creativities, and almost be like a devil's advocate with new, different angles and ideas. I had an idea about corporate executives waiting too long to build personal brands. That's a pretty basic idea, right? Through my conversation with Claude, we uncovered 7 different angles. The compound interest effect of personal branding, hidden opportunity costs that most executives miss, case studies of executives who started late versus started early, the psychological barriers that prevent action, industry-specific considerations, generational differences in personal branding adoption, and ROI calculations for personal brand investment. One post actually became a content series that I ran for 2 weeks and generated multiple 6-figure deals. Now let's get into the content multiplication strategy and how I turn one core idea into 10 plus pieces of revenue generating content using Claude. First, I have my initial post development. Claude will help me structure the main idea. Number 2, I have some angle explorations. I ask Claude, what are 5 contrarian takes on this topic? Number 3, audience segmentation. I think through my ICP and I ask, how would this apply differently to CEOs versus VPs versus directors versus solo entrepreneurs? Number 4, format variations. I ask it to turn this into a framework, a story, and a data-driven post. And number 5, follow-up content. Questions would this post generate? What objections? And generally, I can start the comment section and start conversation in my LinkedIn comments. Now that's a big strategy that I will need to make an entire video on. And if a few of you guys comment that you want me to do a video on my LinkedIn commenting strategy, I'll do it. But here's where Claude has really made me money. I use it to optimize my content for business outcomes, not just engagement. I'll ask Claude, if somebody reads this post and wants to hire me, what questions would they have? What objections would need to be addressed? And what call to action feels natural for my specific ICP and not salesy. This process has increased my LinkedIn to sales call conversion rate by 340%. I need you guys to also understand I don't use any website right now. So that's real money, real results, and a huge conversion rate without even using any fancy websites or funnel systems. Now, here are a few advanced Claude strategies to drive revenue. Use it to identify gaps in your content that prospects might have questions about. Have it analyze your competitors' content and find opportunities that they are missing. Don't replicate their voice. Find the areas they aren't attacking that you could attack. Ask it to help you create content funnels that naturally lead to your services. Use it to optimize your posts for different stages in the buyer's journey. Remember, Claude does not replace your brain. It amplifies it. It's like sparring partner. The strategy has to come from you, and Claude or any AI system will help you with the execution and multiplication. If you want to use Claude, there's a link in the description where you can sign up. And now my last app here, this next tool, it might seem basic, but it's generated me at least $50,000 by making one simple change to my content. And that's the Hemingway app. And it's the difference between content that converts and content that confuses. Here's what most people don't understand. LinkedIn is a mobile platform where people are scrolling between meetings, on trains, on lunch breaks, on different social media platforms. So if your content requires a PhD to understand, you've lost the impression, you lost the sale before it even started. And I discovered this the hard way. I analyzed my highest converting post versus my lowest converting post, and there was one massive difference. Reading level. My post that generated actual business conversations with some of the top CEOs and executives averaged a 4th grade reading level. My post that got likes but no business results, 12th grade reading level. So this is the $50,000 lesson. I had been writing content to impress my peers instead of serving my prospect. Big mistake. Huge mistake! Here's an example that I was working through the other day. I was writing a post about leveraging synergistic personal branding methodologies to optimize professional trajectory outcomes. After running it through Hemingway and simplifying 3 ways to build your personal brand while keeping your day job, that version has generated me over 15 discovery calls. So this is my Hemingway optimization process. Every single post I write, whether it started as a whisper flow recording or a conversation with a client, it goes through Hemingway before it goes live. And what I'm checking for is first sentence length, because LinkedIn users, they scan, they don't study. I'm also checking for complex words because simple feels more trustworthy. And this is something my overeducated brain and ego had to come to grips with. I'm also checking for the passive voice because active voice creates urgency and action. And finally, I'm checking for the overall grade level. I personally aim for 4th grade or lower. But here's the advanced strategy. I also use Hemingway to optimize my comments, DMs, and even my sales conversations because clear communication converts. So finally, let me show you how these 5 tools work together in my actual $1 million revenue generating workflow. This is the exact process behind every high converting post that I write. Now, step number 1, Taplio, my favorite tool in the stack. And again, you can get 50% off Taplio if you use the code below. I use Taplio for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm analyzing high-earning creators in my niche. I'm identifying content gaps and opportunities, and I'm finding proven formats that convert viewers to buyers. Also, I didn't say this earlier. I use Taplio at the end to just look at how my post is gonna look before it gets published. Step number 2, the Perplexity deep dive. Now, this takes me about 20 minutes. I research unique data points and insights. I find contrarian takes that differentiate me, and I gather credibility building statistics and sources. Step number 3, whisper flow brain dump. I record my raw thoughts and stories about the topic. I express different thoughts I'm having about the data that I'm reading. I'm capturing authentic insights while I'm walking or thinking, and I'm just getting my ideas out faster than I could type them. Step number 4, Claude for strategic development. This takes me about 30 minutes. I'm coming to Claude with 70 to 80% of the work done. So I input my whisper flow transcript, I put all the Perplexity research in there, and I develop 5 to 7 different angles. I then optimize content for business outcomes, not just engagement. Then I create follow-up content that builds towards my service. And lastly, once I have my post nice and tight, I put it into Hemingway for the clarity check, and this takes me about 5 to 10 minutes. What I'm doing here is simplifying my language to a 4th grade reading level. I'm removing any confusion that prevents conversion, and I'm ensuring every sentence drives towards action. And those are the 5 steps that I take to generate $1 million LinkedIn posts. I think we could say that. $1 million LinkedIn posts. That sounds good. So my total time per post, a lot of people ask me this, can range between 40 to sometimes 100 minutes per post, which is again why clients hire me, because of the time commitment. But the thing that I always say, if we don't have money, we have time. So my friend, if you're watching this and you don't have money, find the 45 to 100 minutes a day to do this activity. So here's what most people miss and what most people are gonna take away from this video. They're gonna just go download all these tools, which I hope you do, I love them, and then they're just gonna go start flying through and posting and trying to just write better posts. What I need you to understand, my friend, is it's not just about writing better posts. It's about creating content that systematically moves people through your buying journey. It's about creating content that allows you to start building and using LinkedIn for what it's for, a relationship building machine and a revenue generating machine. But you have to understand this big thing that I keep calling out. You must use your brain. You must use your brain. You must think, my friend. I want you to use all these tools with strategy in mind, with thought in mind, with understanding where you want to take a prospect and how you want to transform people's lives. This video is not about fast money and making posts in 10 minutes to generate millions of views and millions of dollars. I just told you guys I'm spending 45 to 100 minutes on each post every day. It's about strategy and it's about using tools to amplify your strategy and make this process even more effective. At the end of the day, most people are just creating content for engagement. And while I love engagement, I'm creating content for impact and income, because that, my friend, is how I believe you build a really strong personal brand. When you can impact millions, income is going to follow. And so these tools are the tools that I use to make impactful posts, impactful videos to, again, drive income. So if you've gotten value from this breakdown, I've put together a 5-day free email course that goes even deeper into my LinkedIn revenue system. It includes all of my exact content templates, DMs, client acquisition frameworks, all the different ways that I think about building a personal brand online. And the link for that is also in the description. I'm going to tell you, people ask me all the time, why would I put all this info out there? Because there is enough out there for us to all win. And if you want to thank me in some way for putting out this info, please just leave me a comment, subscribe, give me some signals that we're going in the right direction. Also, if you want to use Taplio, which I highly, highly recommend, I think you guys know me, I'm not just going to talk about a platform that I don't really recommend. If you want to use Taplio, make sure you use my code for 50% off. With that, my friend, I'll see you in the next one.